Hi, my name is Jacqueline, and I'm a marketing assistant here at the Career Center. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you could just start by giving a little introduction of yourself and the company you're here with.
Yes, absolutely. My name is Natalie O'Neill, and I'm the program manager of our engineering development program at Veeva Systems. So we hire new grad software engineers and intern software engineers across North America and help kind of develop your career in a supportive environment.
Oh, thank you. So we'll start off with our first question. We're here at the Get Hired Fair with many students today. People always recommend students be more personable rather than selling themselves to employers. And we just want to know your thoughts on how students can be their most authentic self when navigating career fairs and networking events.
Yeah, I think there's a really good way to have a balance between the two, and I think you can be prepared. So thinking about your experience, thinking about the things you've worked on in your school experience, internship experience, anything like that, and maybe prepare some bullet points of things you've worked on, but then when you get to the fair, you'll feel comfortable enough to be yourself, be friendly, introduce yourself, but then also have those things in the back of your mind as you talk to the companies. I also will say something that stands out to me when I talk to students is when they ask more questions than answer. So when they're coming curiously and asking questions that kind of show what they're interested in and what they're looking for, that is, I think, really important. So
Thank you for that. And we'll move on to the next one. So when you are talking to students like this, what makes you think I would actually refer this student for a role?
yeah, I think, again, showing curiosity is really important, and then also showing that they would want to work with us and they have clear reasons why Veeva could be a fit for them, and that they've clearly done their research and been kind of genuinely interested in the company for whatever reason. I think that goes a long way when they're coming in kind of with a little bit of knowledge about Veeva and then asking questions on things they don't know yet.
So like a little halfway point there.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so what are some red or green flags that you notice when you're talking to a student within the first couple of minutes?
Yeah, I think maybe a red flag for me would be someone who comes in and just talks for 10 minutes about themselves without letting me get a word in. I think, again, coming in with questions and a concise, clear elevator pitch really goes a long way. And then also being able to have a dialogue rather than just a monologue of, selling yourself. That's probably what I would say for a red flag. For a green flag, I think, again, knowing a little bit about the company coming in is something that stands out to me, and asking good questions if they don't know things about the company.
Thank you. So let's hear your take on securing a job offer. Do you think it's better to have a bigger network, so knowing more people, connecting, or to send out cold applications?
I definitely think there's a mix between the two. So we hire software engineers, so there are clear things you need to have in order to be eligible for the job. But being able to communicate with people and build your network will help you long-term in your career. So I think when you're looking for an entry-level role, cold applying is okay, but I would also reach out to someone at the company, whether it's a mutual connection or someone who has a role that you might be interested in, and learn from them, and then long-term build those relationships, because for your future companies after your initial job, I think that's where your network can really come in handy more than cold applying.
Thank you. And for our last question, how did you figure out in your own career path what you liked and what you didn't like, and how did that guide you toward the career that you have now? And also, what advice do you have for first or second year students who are navigating that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I tried a few different things in college, and I had a sales internship. I realized very quickly I didn't like sales, but I loved the tech company environment. So I think when you're in an internship or a job or talking to different people, think about what you like and what you don't like. I try not to think of things as totally black and white. Maybe there's an experience that you have where it's not the job that you want to do long term, but you learn a little bit about yourself and what you liked about that experience, and then pull from that and try to find something that maybe could be tangential to what you were doing, or like for me, I loved working with people and again the tech environment, so that's where I started looking for jobs at tech companies, but in recruiting and in a different area where I still got to work with a lot of people and found what I love to do. So that's kind of how I would think about that.
And so any specific advice that you would have for like first or second year students that are navigating this, just kind of doing the same thing?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the fact that if you are a first or second year student listening to this, like you are putting in the effort and starting to learn, I think that's number one. Go to the career fairs even as a first and second year, because you will start to build those relationships, see what companies are out there, see what like jobs are out there. I think that's something that as a first or second year, you may not know what the world even has to offer, like what jobs are out there. So start to learn about that and talk to people, network with people, and also learn from juniors and seniors who you know who are doing internships or starting their full-time jobs. Like try to find people who are maybe a year or two above you and learn from them, because they might have some insight to share on what they liked and didn't like about their jobs, and you can use that to guide your career search in the future.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a great rest of the fair.
Yay! Thank you so much.